Hi, folks. Welcome to today's talk. I'm Yetmir from Shkodra, Albania, your moderator of Wild Talks. Today's guest, Vassilis, it's our true friend, with whom we got really close during the face-to-face event we organized in summer, which took place in Shkodra Lake, Albania. I think that getting together really does bring us closer. So I truly look forward to our future activities and meetings. Back to our guests. Vassilis was born.
Hello.
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 Vassilis was born and raised in Kastoria, a small town in Greece. Studied architecture later on, and not only in his country but also in UK. He's a successful construction manager. Photography for him essentially became a passion during the university years, involving landscape, street and architectural photography at first. In 2009, his work was exhibited in Athens, which was fantastic. In 2017, however, he started his journey in wildlife photography, which he considers as one of the most demanding kinds of art photography. And I completely agree with him there. Vassilis mostly photographs in parts of northern Greece and southwest Albania. In 2020, his entry gained an honorary mention in Wildlife AVA Awards, an international photographic competition based in London. So that's very cool. With that said, I would like to welcome my buddy here, Vassilis, to this interview and say hi. Hi, Vassilis.
Hi, Edmir. Nice to see you again. Thank you for your invitation. It's been an honor for me. And
I absolutely share that. And like I said on your introduction as well, I'm so glad we got to meet you in person. Because yes, while it's fantastic getting to know folks virtually, it's great. But to me, it's just the first step to a good friendship. But when you meet, it changes everything, as we discussed before as well.
Exactly. The snapping flight event was very nice and very successful. And I'm really looking forward to be again in Albania and Shkodra and meet you all guys and photograph with you and discuss and laugh with you again.
We absolutely look forward, and as I mentioned to you earlier, we definitely are thinking about doing something in July, so you'll definitely get another invitation.
Yes. Just tell me the date.
Yeah. That's for sure. Yeah. All right, so back to this beautiful eagle.
Yes, as we arranged, I will just present you some of my photographs that are important to me, or it was special when I capture them. And this short tow eagle is one of my first photographs that I took back in 2017. And it was one of the first successful birds in flight captures, because I had a lot of other captures that it was not so successful when I first started photograph birds in flight. I met this guy in Cassandra in Chalkidiki, northern Greece. It's a summer vacation place, let's say something like this. It was in August. It was very hot in the midday. And this guy was flying over me. I was with my car, and he suddenly started to fly very close to me, face to face, and I managed to take this capture. And for me, it was one of my first pictures that gave me the power, let's say, or the will to go on and move forward and love bird photography.
Absolutely. And by the way, it's such an amazing freeze. I mean, we all our first shots. This is a very nice freeze. It's very nice species as
The
well.
first successful
Everything is
shot.
almost
Yeah.
perfect here. You know what I mean? Oh, nice.
So that's the story. The story basically is that it's one of the first.
Beautiful.
And, this is another one. It's from the same session, the first or the second day there, which is it's a European honey buzzard.
Right.
It's a little rare species that you can find during the summer here in the Balkans, and I was very lucky to see him very close to me. I was in the car.
Oh,
And he was very relaxed and easy and quiet, and was saying that probably it should have eat something. He should have eaten something before, and so he was doing something like digesting something. That's why his feathers is like this.
I
You know,
see.
So it was another very special capture for me because of the rarity. You can find, some people say that you cannot find very easily a honey buzzard standing on the ground. Most of the captures are flying.
Oh, interesting.
So they say that meeting a European honey buzzard standing on the ground or relaxing somewhere, it's very rare moment that you can.
Oh, that's a unique detail. Okay.
Yes, and maybe you will see that most of my captures are close up of the birds. Maybe I should just mention it because that's mostly the style I like to photograph. Close up of the birds, as close as I can get, to have a good clarity and technically to be as much as possible, good as much as possible. And I really like the backgrounds to be, minimal. So we are not gonna see a lot of environment on the background in my photographs I have selected for you.
One thing that I'd like to add to this close-up shot is that something that I don't think we talk as often is that because they are so intimate shots, and so it's a rarity to the normal naked eye, it add an interest, in my opinion, with respect to something that you've never seen before. You get to a behavioral moment, to that split second, and you almost become one. And that, to me, that's very unique. And that close-up introduce you to that perspective of our photography. So that's also, I think it's very unique.
I totally agree with you. You're getting to know those animals better if you have the chance to see them so close and see how they behave in different situations.
That's right. Yeah. Nice shot.
Yeah. That's another one that it's one of my favorites. It's a long leg buzzard. It's very closely related with Buteo, but it's not Buteo, it's Buteo rufinus. It's the Latin name. I think it's, well, for me, it's the most beautiful raptors, I say.
Beautiful indeed. And this is
it is very beautiful, and I found it in an old factory somewhere near my hometown, where I live now in the Saloniki in Greece, and she was. I don't know if it's she or he, but it is very beautiful, and I say she. I don't know if it's a male or female, but
sure.
Anyway, she was strolling around trying to find something to eat, or probably she was trying to, I think she noticed some smaller birds' nests, and she was trying to see if there is something there to eat. And she was making these circles above the nests. So I managed to take this very nice clothes and beef.
This is a very nice shot. How far were you from here?
Uh,
From the subject, from the eagle.
it's about 50% crop. So
Okay.
it's with 600 millimeters lens ahead. So I don't know, maybe something about 50 meters, 50, 60 meters or something like that, maybe more.
That's so awesome to see all of this detail, all this coloring, all these
Yes.
patterns. I mean, honestly, like as you said, it's a very beautiful raptor, very powerful.
Beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely.
I try to photograph selecting first the position that I am opposite the subject. I mean, when I go into the field and see where's the sun and how is the surroundings morphologically around me, I try firstly to see how I want to meet the bird and photograph it. And I position myself in that way, to have always to have the sun behind me, and I'm trying to wait and see what's for the best moment to capture. And that's the way I prefer to photograph. It's not I don't like to make myself to bring myself a difficult situation with light, etc. And I'm not going to photograph the subject if it's not well lit.
Right.
I'm more a kind of photographer rather than a collector of species, something like that.
I understand.
That's a long discussion we have here in Greece with the other guys and friends.
Yeah, I love to have that discussion more in depth, to be honest. More and more I hear. I think that originally it started with birders and folks who study it, and it makes perfect sense. But and then there is a new breed of folks, I think, photographing these beautiful creatures. They're just photographing it not necessarily for scientific reasons, which can include it to that extent, but they're also photographing it for just the artistic reasons, just to make an impression. And I think like photos like this is the third shot that you share, and each one of them, they make they connect you with somehow. You don't know what it is, but you just connect it with it. And I think this is like a reason for some of us why we photograph. We're not like very much. And I'm very interested into this new breed of photographers, this crowd, these people, in a sense that to have this conversation more. And then talk about a little bit why they're doing it, the artistic side of it. Like it's opening a new channel to photography. Because I think that while wildlife photography was somehow managed by masters such as National Geographic, putting standards and everything, now we have like another voice. Graphic designers, web designers, new media designers who are coming up with different approaches, like really a way to meditate, connect to nature, have a artistic thought to it, which kind of like goes beyond. I think that's an interesting conversation to have. So I'm so glad that you talked.
Yes. I think the National Geographic type of photography, of course, is the king. Let's say it's the top. You can feel it very strong how it's how the animals live in their environment. But maybe for me it was a little bit different because of my background in the architecture, maybe sometimes because of my profession, which has to do with structures, the colors, the promotion of the subject to make it look beautiful, to find a way to make their details better, to understand it better, something like that, maybe something like that.
It is an
Anyway,
interesting conversation. Yes, I appreciate it. Yeah. Yep.
So
What do we have next in the menu here?
The next
He is the guy. Yeah.
Yeah, this is the guy. This is
Yeah, man. Tough one, huh?
It's very tough for me. It's my favorite bird. The most beautiful bird we have here in Balkans in general, because of the colors, the speed, and the technique it has with the fishing. And I really like this photo because he's the Kingfisher, which probably is the king of the fishers, something like that, maybe. And this guy standing on a fisherman net, on a fisherman's net.
Yes.
It was on a boat in my lake, in my hometown, in the lake of my hometown, Castoria. So I was very close to the lake shore. There was this boat with the fisherman's net, and there came this guy and standing on the fisherman's net, and I think it's very symbolic.
Yeah.
The background is, like it's in the studio or something.
Yes.
It was very. That's the good thing about the fast lens. Anyway,
Yeah,
this is one of my favorite.
I mean, it really, like the backgrounds, like such as this one and the ones that you showed us so far, and you actually mentioned, the way you approach your style and the blurry backgrounds, you don't see anything. It really allows to focus on the subject, so you can have a conversation, almost like a voiceless visual conversation with wherever, and you just stay with it. So I really appreciate that myself as well. That's awesome.
Yeah. I'm trying to be the photograph of models. I like the birds to be at their best.
That's right. Yes. Yes.
And I say to myself, maybe I managed to show this beauty.
Yeah.
More, something like that.
And I think there is something hidden, I think, in us, in all of us, that try to portray images like this, that we have a relationship with the perfection. There is something, we want this bird, for example, to look at its best. We want the lighting at its best. So there is a kind of like relation. I think it speaks with the relationship inside we have on wanting to achieve this perfection and manifesting it quietly, softly, voicelessly, and here it is. Then you just leave it alone. But I like it, the fact that we are discussing it. I really like bring another layer to this.
Even its stance, it looks like we had a rendezvous to photograph it. No, it stands here like it's ready to be photographed. No,
just like the king with the heads up, like Kingfisher.
Exactly.
Very good. Yes. Awesome.
Okay, and all right, this one is from the last summer, last August. I was with a very good friend of mine. You know him, Manos. We were in Halkidiki in Greece again. Yes. And it happened to have vacations together with our families, and we decided to go and photograph one day early in the morning. We had a friend with a fast boat. We wake up early, about 5:30 in the morning, took the boat, off the shore and went not in the very far from the shore, but 1 or 2 miles away, where we found a lot of seabirds like this. This is a Chorus shearwater. In Greek, we call it Artemis. And yes, and, there was some kind of route that the birds were going from north to south. And what is really interesting with these birds is that you cannot always spot them when you are in the sea, because they are flying very low on the sea level. And when you try to see in the when you're trying to see them, you cannot clearly see their figures, because you have this blue with the waves kind of reflections behind them, and you cannot see them very well. But and that's why they appear suddenly very close to you, and you will become very surprised, and you must be very fast. And the thing with the boat also was not very helpful, because it was from the waves it was shaking. But I managed to take this photo, and what I like in this is the light, because it's the first light of the day. It's very warm light, and it's just hitting the back of the bird, bringing all the details and the colors and all these very special features of this guy. He's a very close relative to the the big albatross of the ocean, of the big oceans, but he mostly, of course, lives in here in Mediterranean and nesting here. And it was a very, very interesting and nice day that day with Manos.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. So you shared some friendship with this. You had the shot and you had some friendship around. That's very nice.
Yes, exactly.
To me, I really like it when it happens both,
With Manos, we had the same captures that day.
Yeah.
We were looking the photos and we had the same captures. It was like, yes, it was very funny.
Very nice.
That's one of the good things that happens when you live close to the sea. You can see that seabirds. The next one is this one. This is not very good technically. It's very, very cropped. The bird was in quite a distance, but why I showed to you, it's because it's a rare species also. It's a rock thrush. You can find him in high altitudes in the mountains. And I saw it one day in Kastoria, in the mountains up in my hometown. And he was doing this very sharp turns while he was flying. I couldn't understand what he was doing. Of course, I was very excited when I noticed that it is a rock thrush. And when I managed to take this bird in flight shot, and saw it afterwards in my laptop, I saw that I've managed to capture even the small bee or fly. What is it? I don't know. And that's why I really like this photo. And again, we have this very interesting background, totally blue.
How big is the bird? How big is this bird? Is it like relatively really small or medium size?
It's the same size as the other
thrushes
from the same genus, but it's let's say it's like a pigeon or something, maybe a little bit smaller than a pigeon. Yes. and it's very bright. And the tail is very bright red. It's very beautiful. And next one. I don't know if you ever had a chance to photograph the horned lark.
No, I have not, sir.
Okay.
Many of the species you shot, I have not had the pleasure and opportunity to. I look forward.
I'm sure there are a lot of places in Albania that you can find it, because Albania has a very big and beautiful mountains. Again, we photographed that day with my friend Manos. We were managed to get up on a mountain early in the morning. And this bird is very difficult to find in lower altitudes. You really have to go up 1,000 meters, 2,000, not 2,000, but 1,200 meters, etc. So we were there early in the morning again, and there was this about 2 or 3 persons, and they were eating some seeds that they were find up on the snow. I don't know how this happened, because the snow is supposed to cover everything, but they were eating some seeds they found there, and we managed to get some very clear. They were very relaxed. They were coming very close to us. We were in the car, and they gave us some really nice and close.
What area was this? Where was this?
This is in a mountain in northern Greece. It's I think it's the same mountain we have. We have the borders with North Macedonia. It's the same mountain. Actually, there is a ski resort in our side, in this mountain, and we were very close to this ski resort, but on a day that there was no people, and there no noise, etc. And it was a very nice day for birding there.
Very cool, very unique. I'm not even sure if I've seen it, to be honest, not let alone, I mean, photographing. So it's very cool.
Yeah, I'm sure you have it in Albania, for sure.
One really good thing about this interviews that we have is that we also get to learn a little bit more about this bird. Like, to me, it's been very enriching, to be honest. Just like this is an example, for example. The mountain bird, where was it, you know, how you photographed it, that's that kind of like, it's
yes,
so cool. Yeah,
I understand. And every information you need, I have every information for you for every bird that you can see here.
no, I appreciate that. Yeah, it's nice. Yeah, and often I wanted to say something like, when you also post, I like it a lot, like you share info, you know. So I think that sharing that information, I think it is appreciated.
I think this is all what it's all about.
Yeah, like
sharing
something, right? Exactly. Right.
Helping people to find their own.
Yeah.
This one is a raw deer.
All right. Yep.
I photograph mammals, of course, if I found in the wild. I found this raw deer. It's again in Kastoria, in my hometown, near Kastoria. Yeah. There was some abandoned houses up on the mountain, and she came out of these abandoned houses, and she looked at me, and she was looking at me very, you know, very quiet, very peacefully, without fear, and that was a very strong feeling for me, because I thought that the minute that she will look at me, she will run away. But she was looking at me so peaceful, like saying, who is this guy with this one eye, with one big eye there?
That's so cool. So cool.
And yes. And she gave me this shot, which I like very much because of the expression of the eyes, sincere and peaceful. And after this capture, she walked very, of course, I have a lot of captions. She walked away quite peacefully, and it was very nice.
It's amazing that you bring this up because I've noticed sometimes with certain species or certain moments or certain birds, it's not like selected or anything, but I've experienced moments where you would have an eye connection and the species in front of you will just stay, almost like you're communicating in a way and then agreeing for the moment to photograph.
Agreeing for the moment, yes.
You know, for like you're having a connection.
Yes.
And that
maybe they just understand that you are not a danger for them. They understand. Maybe they can understand it.
They can read it, right?
Maybe, yeah, they can feel it. So that's why.
And they allow you, I guess, to photograph.
Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes even to get slightly closer enough to. It's amazing, but it has happened, just like in this case. So it's unique.
Yes. Okay, this is one of my favorite. This is a Bluethroat.
Yeah.
It's a rare species to find, and I was lucky enough to find him again in my hometown, Kasoria, one morning, early in the morning, in close to the lake, and of course I was shocked because I wasn't prepared to see the Bluethroat back then. I didn't meet him by the time. So I took a lot of photographs of him, and this guy, what I liked in this photo is that this guy went and stand on this route, and the whole background and the situation there is very, it's also like reminds me of a setup of a studio. So
that's
isn't it?
That's exactly what I was thinking. The vegetation is almost framing it for you.
Yeah, it's framing it exactly.
Oh my God! Yes,
exactly. Yeah,
absolutely.
And this guy went there and sit and yes, gave me that shot.
So
So
cool.
I was very like.
Yes,
very
so cool when this happened. Yep.
Okay.
All right.
This is the common pheasant, yeah? I think you probably know that species.
Yes.
But what is really interesting and very unique with this special original, with this common pheasant, is that is the original colchicus bird. I don't know if you ever been informed about the difference between the common pheasants and the original common pheasant. The common pheasant that exists nearly everywhere in Europe, they are having this white color. That means that it's a breed that is not original. This guy comes from the original ancient, let's say.
Oh my God! What a detail! That's wonderful. Okay.
Where the last 3 or 30 or 40 birds remains in a forest near Nestos River in Kavala in Greece. And I think there is also another population in Bulgaria. That's the only places that you can find the original colchicus.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yes.
Did not know that.
Yes.
What I know is that on Western civilization culture, you get a lot of originals and origins from where you come from. That I knew.
Yeah, that's the Indian. Yeah, like
But this is a very nice addition to that
Yeah, yeah,
knowledge I have. Love it.
exactly.
Awesome, awesome.
And
Oh,
the place, yes. Again, here we are. I'm with Manos. I remember again. We were with
okay.
Manos together, and we went there to photograph them. The forest is preserved and is you cannot, of course, hunt or anything. It's forbidden to be there some hours of the day. I mean, in general, there are some laws in order to preserve this
Yes.
species there, because it's the last person there living. But if you are lucky enough to see it, well, that's it.
Okay, so you need to be lucky to kind of get a glance of this, right? It's not something that you walk around in the area and you see it. It's not.
Most probably you're gonna see it if you
I
can.
see.
If you be there, if you will be there, you will photograph it. I mean, it's most probably you will photograph it. But there were some times that the birds were hiding the vegetation. So, yeah. But most of the guys that goes there that to find it, they managed to photograph.
Yeah, this is a unique share, and it's beautiful shot, by the way, absolutely. But also that behind story, it's
it is a little bit difficult because it's a very sensitive bird. It hears in every sound. It goes left and right in the vegetation, hiding in the second. So we were lucky enough, yes, to take this capture. Very beautiful colors. Okay.
This guy I know. Yep.
Yeah, this is a common Buzzard.
Beautiful. Yep.
I found this guy in the lake of Kasoria again. He was alone, and strangely, it was very peaceful, and he was coming very close to me, like he didn't care. I don't. At first, I didn't realize why was that, but when I started to photograph him, I saw that his right wing, as you can see, is not in a. It is not in a good situation. You see, it's. I think it was hurt. And what might happen to this bird is that he might have been attacked by a mink. You know what a mink? What's a mink? In Castoria, we have a tradition for making fur coats.
Okay. Oh, I see what you say. Yes, I know what you do. Yes, sir.
Almost since the Middle Ages. I mean, it's
yes,
traditional country. It's a traditional thing to have fur coats, create them and sell them. And back in 2010, there was an incident where some activists freed some 10,000 minks who were supposed to be, closed in their farms, and those activists freed them in the surroundings of the lake. What was the problem was that those animals are not animals that are coming from Europe and Castoria. They are American animals. So what happened is that they destroyed a lot of nests, and they ate a lot of other species that were, autochthonous in the area. So what I'm saying is that maybe these Buzzard were attacked by a mink.
I see. Yeah, interesting story. Yeah, 10,000. Oh, that's a lot.
And that's why he was very peaceful, and he was coming close, not coming to me, but he was very peaceful. He didn't care about my presence there. And probably he was trying just to relax and have his wing healed.
In the United States, they call this a red-headed duck. It's very similar. It's almost, maybe they are some
Red-headed
different.
duck.
Red-headed duck, they call it. And it's
I
also
can see
very,
why.
yeah, and very common and very, but in Albania, when I tried to photograph, they were at the Shkodra Lake. There were so many, I mean, in hundreds, and but very sensitive. They're extremely sensitive. We couldn't get closer than 200 meters, 300 meters to them. They would just fly away. That's it, gone. And but it's a beautiful.
You even try to, yes, and their eyes, they're red.
Yeah, they're very beautiful.
I was very lucky because it was very it was very peaceful, and the lake was very peaceful, and I had the chance to stand flat on the ground, so to have at the same level with the bird. That's why I like also this capture.
Awesome, it's beautiful. Everything is here. I mean, in my opinion, background, lighting. I mean, you killed it. Meaning,
yes, I was like,
loved it. Love the shot. Yep. Yeah.
All right. Okay, this is also another very unique capture for me, because this is a very, very, very rare species. It's the lanner falcon. If you know, I don't know what's the. I think it's Biarmicus, something in the Latin name, but I don't remember it at the moment. In Greek, if I translate it, it's also something like a golden hawk, something like that.
Okay.
But it's very rare species. Probably it's about 6 or 8 persons in Greece, maybe less, maybe 4. In 2 pairs or something like that, or 4 pairs or something like that. As far as I know, I'm not sure, but as far as I know, I think there are almost only 2 or 3 pairs.
Oh, they're almost extinct then, I guess, in Greece.
In Greece, I don't know.
Right.
Wow, I don't know at the moment if
that's
there are
interesting
more.
To know more about this. Like folks who see this interview, they should tell us a little bit about in other countries what's the situation. I think that would be very interesting information.
That would be very interesting.
Very. Go ahead. Wow.
And we found him again in our city here, the hometown of Castoria. We were very lucky in a place with a lot of rocks up on the mountain. He's got a very nice call. You could hear the pair communicating in the air. That was very cool. And he makes some strolls above us, and I managed to take this photo. But
very nice. Very nice photo, Vassilis.
It's very cropped also.
Nice, a lot of details, full frame. It's full with it. It's very nice. This is a nice camera. Very nice.
But the thing is the species here, yeah. It's the uniqueness of the species.
Yeah.
Very nice. All right.
And by the way, just to add something, it's very beautiful when you shoot a unique species as you shoot another normal species. At least it looks like a norm, but it's not. It's hard to get by. So, but and the way you shot it, it's so beautifully right in front and frontal shot.
I was lucky enough to
be
close to that. Beautiful. Actually, it's almost in the same place with the lanner falcon. It was very close.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know this guy. This is the Wallcreeper, the famous Wallcreeper.
Yeah, we discussed it today with Katarina from Serbia. She said, I love to photograph
I saw her comments.
Yes.
I was ready to invite her to Greece because I know where he can find. But then I saw that she said that she knows also in the Serbia where is it, so it's okay.
Right.
I hope she will find it. This bird is very, very beautiful, with very vibrant red colors on the wings. and some strange black and white pattern also in the in the
Beautiful.
tail. And it's a little bit difficult to photograph because it goes uh, on vertical rocks where
Mm.
you have vertical rocks, and so you are. It's not very easy to photograph because of that height of the rocks most of the times. In my situation, we were lucky because there was some old structure like stairs
Mm.
attached to this vertical wall, rock walls, and we managed uh, to go at the top of that structure, of that ladder, that stairs, and that gave us the opportunity to be closer to that bird. And we were waiting hours there to for the bird to get close to us. But when it did, it was splendid. It was very good.
Yeah, this is a beautiful frame, picture, species. I mean, every shot has been very.
Okay.
I'm so glad you accepted the interview. Oh, so it's very nice.
All of the guys have wonderful pictures, and I'm really sure that all the guys are gonna make the same interview. They're gonna show very interesting photos.
Yeah.
Okay, this is another one of my favorite photos. Actually, this is the one that had honorary mention.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, it's very beautiful because it has this mirror effect. While this little egret he was hunting, he was trying to fishing, and it was when you have the opportunity to be close to a bird, and this bird is not afraid of you, or maybe I don't know why, because maybe because you are calm, maybe you're quiet there, hidden. Uh, they give you this opportunity to 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 be part of their everyday situation in life, and this is magical because you can capture moments that you cannot imagine. Extreme beauty. That is one of them for me. For me, I like very much. It was late in the afternoon, very nice light was there, peaceful surface of the water of the sea, because it's near the sea here.
Mhm.
And he was hunting, was making all this very sharp uh, hits in the water of the surface, creating all this nice stuff there.
I guess this image really exemplifies the importance of behavioral shots. It
Behavioral,
is,
exactly.
yeah, it is why folks really emphasize, like once they are in years into this photography, you will hear a lot being talked about lighting and behavior, because that kind of take it to another level altogether. So searching for that behavioral moment, that perfect light, it takes this photography, at least it seems, to another level, and then I think that's unique.
Yes, and for me that's the point. To get a very nicely taken capture technically, and if you manage to capture a moment that is very unique from the life of the bird, from the everyday life of the bird, that says something about it, that can show to the others also how it lives and hunts, etc. That's the meaning of wildlife photography. Uh, yes. That's a very nice one also.
All right.
That's
Yeah.
another everyday life moment of a little old pair.
Yeah. Love it. The eyes speak a lot.
Yes.
Them. I love it.
This is,
Gotcha.
a
No.
pair of little loads.
Mm,
I took this capture last spring. Again, in the last light today,
mm.
there was this pair of little loads that was standing on a rock, and I was taking photos of them, and suddenly they were making some noises, and suddenly probably the female was making more noises than the male, and suddenly the male flew uh, in the back of the female, and they started mating. And this moment with the wings open, it's one of my favorite. I
Yeah,
have a
it
lot of.
speaks the world. It's like
I-
it's almost like a no comment moment. That's how much it
yeah,
speaks to you.
yeah,
You know, it's
yes,
amazing.
yes.
I love it. I love it. Like everything. Like going back to the conversation we had about behavior lights.
Hmm.
I mean, that's what we're talking about. Like this is
Hmm.
like a very unique moment.
Yes.
Beautiful light. I mean, everything is just this kind of, yeah, it's amazing.
The male seems very focused. The
Yeah,
female
like a
seems
minute. Yeah.
a little bit bored.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
uh, yeah,
She's like almost multitasking while
yeah,
he is precise and focused on. I think that's like speaks
exactly.
the truth for
May-
other species as well.
Yes, exactly. Maybe she's also feeling a little bit anxious or shy because maybe they noticed my presence there, and I was not very discreet with them. I
Okay.
was,
Okay. But
uh,
they still seem undisturbed, so it's awesome.
yeah, yeah,
I like
yeah.
that. I like
I can assure you this because I have a lot of captions from this moment. A whole movie. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, let's have another interview one day.
Okay,
Call it
I will
Little
show
Owl.
you.
Little Owl.
Yeah. Yeah.
Love it. Awesome. Awesome.
Okay, this is the last one,
All right.
and this is basically it's my favorite photo, and I think it's for the moment my top moment of photography, of wildlife photography. It's the meeting I had with this gray wolf
Wow. Mhm.
on the last spring. Uh, I was very, very, very lucky because there was a very windy day, and I was in the fields, and probably this wolf didn't smell me. He didn't manage to smell me because of the wind, and so he approached me without knowing, very close. This guy is about 30 meters or 30 or 40 meters away from me.
Wow.
At first, I thought he was a dog, but when he showed me and made his ears try to hear
Wow.
me or smell me, I
Uh-huh.
realized from their white throat here that this is a wolf. I was in shock. I tried to persuade myself that I have to take the lens easily out of the window. I was in the car at the moment.
Wow.
I managed to take some photos of him. I have a lot of captures from this meeting. But the moment I opened the door very easily, because I wanted more captures of him,
Mhm.
he ran away. So basically, it was about 10 or 15 or 20 seconds that he tried to smell me. He saw me, he tried to smell me, and then he left. And I had this 20-second opportunity. and
Wow.
it was the best moment for me in wildlife since.
Wow, that's wild, wild.
That's wildlife, yeah.
That's like the real the definition.
The definition, yeah,
Wow.
yeah. I
So
was
I can
very,
see.
very, very
Wow.
lucky, very lucky.
Wow. That's
And
amazing. How long ago was this?
he left jumping. It was very.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
Sorry.
How long ago was this?
Mm. And if you see, he has not. He dropped his winter coat for fur because wolves have more, larger coats, fur coats on them.
Right.
They're,
I'm
and
not
now
sure
he's.
if you heard me. I'm sorry for interrupting you, but I asked you, just wondering, how long ago was this?
Sorry. This is in the. I think it was in the last May, in the
Oh,
spring. May. I think the first days of May.
that's an experience. I can
6
imagine.
months ago. 6 months ago.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, this is the kind of shot that I guess you, I mean, as a wildlife photographer, you take it from a hide, maybe, and but not like a
For my car, which works like a hide.
beautiful, beautifully
Yeah.
said. Awesome. Yeah, that's very good.
Actually, this is the way I took most of the photos. Maybe this is something that maybe it would be nice to share with the people. That a lot of, or even most of my pictures are from my car,
Yes.
my car window.
Yes. What do you, by the way, since that we are in the topic, have you photographed from the hide? What do you think about the hide experience? Since that you
I have photographed from a hide, but
okay.
not a very organized one. It was abandoned hide, not in a very good situation, condition. And yes, it's good if the surroundings are, if the hide is positioned in interesting surroundings, then they will give you extremely good shots.
That's great. Yeah, like to me, I think yeah. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I think what matters the most is the place that the hides are positioned.
Okay.
Yeah. And definitely worth the shoot from a hide.
To me, it gives the opportunity of shooting some species that you otherwise you would never photograph. Like,
yes.
Like as we talked about the possibility of going and photographing the white-tailed eagle, for example. I mean, it's not something you're going to accidentally just walk one day and see it unless you go to specific spots and do this. And I think as a wildlife photographers, at least the people who do this from the perspective of getting an emotional connection to it, an artistic approach, and all of that, you want to explore as many species as possible and connect with it. And because when you get stuck, in a sense, like you do the same thing again, same species, I think that to me, for example, something more needs to happen. And that's why I got into this, even getting involved with folks, inviting folks to Albania. Hopefully we go other places as well. I look forward to meet you in Greece, by the way, which we almost did once. You remember?
Of course. That would be wonderful.
And just get together and find places where we can chill out, hang out, but also photograph. But that gives way to purpose of continuation of this hobby. Exactly. The way I see it. Once I start doing the same thing often over and over again, I can see how I can become very good at certain species, which I think it has its own value to it. But to me, I'm more into like exploration, at least at this stage of the passion. I'm also been shooting for about 4 or 5 years on wildlife only. And I see that I am at that stage now that, yes, I hear more folks who've been here and are beyond me, where the light becomes important, behavioral shots become important, details, unique species become important, explorations, meeting. So that's I feel like that's where I am personally.
If I would like to add something to all that you said before, which I totally agree, is that the more time that you spend in the field, the better you get. I mean, that's all for me.
Yeah.
If you are spending a lot of time in the field, then you will be better in everything. I have seen it. But with our life and of course profession, etc., and everyday problems, etc., it's not always possible. But if we manage to be in the field more hours and spend more hours in the field, you're definitely gonna be better every day.
I was gonna say Amanos, actually. That's how much, next time we bring Manos in Shkodra next time.
Yes.
By the way. But I wanted to say thank you so much, Vassilis, for doing this. You are a very cool guy. We appreciate your friendship, honestly. I want to say hi also from the other guys, from the mayor of the city as well, who was very impressed with every single one of you when she met you. And but yeah, and then as a personal note, people like you are very enriching. So I appreciate your friendship. And let's stay in touch, communicate in Wild Europe, and just let's keep the fun going.
Yes, we will, man.
I appreciate it.
Thank you very much for the opportunity, for this very lovely interview. Let's say it was a meeting, mostly with good friends. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Take care.
I'm looking forward to see you soon.
Absolutely, absolutely. Take care.
Thank you.